Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome. David Franzine here, coming to you live from the Orlando World Center Marriott here in beautiful Orlando, Florida. Certainly glad you jumped on here with me tonight because we're going to talk about a very important subject. Welcome to day, or I should say, night 13 of my 21-day Facebook Live challenge. So I've done 12 nights already. This will be night 13. So I'm excited to be sharing with you again. I hope that if you've watched some of my other trainings, you've gained some valuable insight that can help you grow your business or attain some of your goals. Just a brief introduction. Once again, my name is David Franzine. I am an online marketer in my part-time. I hope to make that full-time within the next couple of years. I'm also a team member. Problem with going live, I guess. I'm also a team member at Universal Studios Florida, where I was a performer for 25 years. In the last few years, I've worked in the security department. So before I start tonight, I just want to update you on what's going on with me. As I said, I'm at the Orlando World. I always mess up the name of this hotel. It's the Orlando World Center Marriott. Yeah, that's it. The Orlando World Center Marriott. So I'm actually here for my online marketing company's 3-day convention. We have an annual convention once a year, obviously. And then actually, Josh Zwagel, the company founder, was telling us today at the convention that they're going to start doing more events, more live events. You know, they're probably going to have like 3 or 4 a year, which is a great thing because it's a great way to introduce people to the business, to train people in the business, to inspire people to grow their business. So that'll be a great thing if they do that. But for right now, they meet once a year, have a big event like this. There must be at least 2,000 people here for this event. So we're having a great time. We're learning a lot. We're learning how to grow our online business. We're listening to some dynamic leaders. And so it's been a real good time. We got one more day tomorrow, and then that's it. We'll wrap it up for this year. So anyway, I want to get on to tonight's subject before we go too late. And we're only going to be on here a few minutes tonight because this subject won't take very long to discuss. But it's so important. And I was just thinking about this earlier today that I might have, should have, could have, would have, but didn't. Probably should have started with this topic in my live training series that I've been doing here on Facebook, because that's how important it is. So the subject is, if it's to be, it's up to me. And let me tell you, I am one that can speak from a lot of experience in this area, especially when it comes to online marketing. Because when I started in the beginning and I struggled, which I did for some years, some amount of years, part of the reason I struggled was I had a hard time facing the reality that my failures were primarily they were probably because of my thinking, my self-defeatist, negative thinking, and somewhat of a victim mentality. Whereas every time something would go a little bit wrong or something didn't seem quite right, I would look for a way to blame my upline, to blame the training, to blame my situation. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. Well, you know, this can work for other people, but it can't work for me. You know, that kind of thinking. I could give you a couple of examples of that. For example, a couple of years ago, I was in this very company that I'm in right now, but after about a month, I quit. That was right before the pandemic ended and we went back to work. So I didn't even give it a chance. I was in for like 30 days and then I just quit. Well, I remember one time, and if Aaron Parker sees this, he might laugh at this a little bit because I kind of had that bad stinking thinking going back then. And So Aaron, who is great as a leader, had put out some training videos, not just him training, but some of the other leaders in the power team group. And so there was some great training videos, but a lot of them were inspirational in nature. And, you know, they didn't really, they gave some of the basics of building a business and some of the tactics and techniques involved. But me being very skeptical at the time, I ended up writing to Aaron and I said, and I wasn't trying to be negative. I mean, but when I read it back, you know, sometime later, it came off that way, you know, and he must have thought at the time, who is this guy, you know, because what I wrote to him, I said, listen, Aaron, these videos that you guys are putting out with some of the leaders, they're great, you know, inspirational videos, but there's a lot of rah-rah in them and really not a lot of tactics and techniques for actually building the business. I said, do you have any other videos that might explain better how to actually, you know, build a business, the nuts and bolts of it? And so I was thinking at the time that didn't seem all that negative, but in looking back on it now, years later, when I have a much better perspective and I'm taking more ownership and responsibility for whether I succeed or fail in this business, I look back on that and he probably did think it was kind of negative and probably thought, well, this guy just really doesn't have the right mentality to make it in this business. And what I should have done, the way I should have wrote it, and this is what I would recommend to you, is if you have something like that and you feel you need something else in addition to it, well, don't discount what it is. Write to the person and say, hey, I really love these videos. They're inspirational in nature, and I really am gaining some valuable information from them. I was wondering if you might also have some videos that go into a little more detail on some of the techniques and tactics to build a business, because if you have those, I would certainly appreciate viewing those as well. So you see how the tone changed. The whole tone of it is different and more on you and not trying to blame somebody else for their video not being good enough or your upline not training you the right way, or not giving you all the information you need. It's just the approach. It's the whole approach. You know, it starts with your thoughts, because your thoughts become your reality. I've talked about that before. Your thoughts become the reality. So it's very important, you know, when I talk about if it's to be, it's up to me, a lot of that does come down to the thought process and the mindset. And just remember this: if you want something different, you have to do something different. And if success was easy, everybody would do it. They would, but it's not easy. So the first thing is to look in the mirror and decide that if you want to achieve success, you got to treat it as a business. Like I did a little interview with one of the leaders in the company today, and he was great. And what he talked about was, so many times people start an online business, and because it's relatively inexpensive to start, they treat it more as a hobby rather than a business. However, if you were investing into a brick and mortar business, a traditional kind of business, and you spend $100,000, do you think that you would put in the same sort of effort as you do with your online part-time business? Hell no. You take it a lot more serious because you invested $100,000 in it. And you know, if you don't work your ass off to make it happen, you're not going to get that money back, and you're not going to make any money in the future. So he had some great advice on that today, as far as that goes. But when it comes right down to it, nobody is going to hold your hand. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody's going to put team members under you. Nobody's going to build your team for you. And instead of always looking to be the victim and find fault in what other people are doing and how they're not training you the right way, they're not giving you all the information you need, go out and find that information. If you don't feel you're getting the information you need or the training you need, then go look for it. But do it with a positive mindset and the positive mental attitude that if it's to be, it's up to me. If you do that, you assure yourself of a lot better chance of success. Going along with this, I want to give you another example of something that happened to me a few years ago. I was at a mastermind event for a company I was in at the time. And this is when I thought everybody was trying to take advantage of me and I didn't trust anybody. And so this was a high ticket program. And at this event, we had already paid a good amount of money to attend the event. And then at the event, they were trying to sell more stuff. They were trying to basically what they call upsell us for a higher level package, for a bigger mastermind event that was coming up and that sort of thing. And that bothered me at the time because I said, they've already got my money. Now they're just being greedy. They want to just make more money and take advantage of people. And so I told that to an older lady that was there at the time. I can't remember her name, but she was a very nice lady. And she said to me, and she kind of got in my face about it. And she was like, listen, David, you're a grown adult. You can make your right decisions that you think is best for you. They're not doing anything wrong. They're in business. They're trying to make money. They're trying to make income. They are offering a product or a service that is of value. Okay. It is something that you could probably benefit from. You have the choice whether you want to purchase it or not purchase it. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's twisting your arm to make it happen. So she really kind of, made me look at that in a different way. And so I think that might have kind of been the turning point for me when I started realizing that I needed to really look in the mirror and hold myself accountable, realize that if I was going to achieve success in this business, that I would have to basically do it myself. That doesn't mean you're on your own. That doesn't mean never ask for help. That doesn't mean that there isn't help out there for you, because there is. What it means, though, is that you can't be the victim anymore. You can't blame other people when it starts going against you, when you can't find your time to put into your business, when you don't have the energy and strength to do it, and you want to blame it on everything else and everybody else. That's just the wrong kind of mentality, and it's not going to help you reach your goals. So as I heard somebody say recently, said, when the excuses stop, the success will come. When the excuses stop, the success will follow. So that's going to be it for tonight. This probably will be my shortest live ever. I'm probably a little tired from the day's activities here. So usually I go about 15 to 20 minutes. I see we're under 15 right now. So I kind of feel like I'm cheating you. I feel like I need to go at least 15 minutes. But like I said, the subject isn't really, anything we have to elaborate on to a great deal. The main thing is correct your thinking, have a positive mental attitude, have a vision for your future, set some goals. There was a woman speaking at the event today, and she said, you have to, every day when you wake up, you have to have a clear vision of what it is you're trying to achieve. And you have to set your goals, and you have to write them down, and you have to speak it. Hearing your own voice, speaking it, and then writing it down is a big help in helping you attain your goals. And the only way you could do that is by being accountable to yourself, having the proper mental attitude, the proper desire, the burning desire, I should say, and a determined purpose. If you do that, you will have results. So that's it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night. As I say in some of my past trainings, if you guys have any suggestions on what you'd like to learn about or hear me talk about in my trainings, I certainly welcome your comments and your thoughts on that, because I'm 13 days in and I'm kind of running out of topics here. So I know I'll come up with something if I need to, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have some suggestions. And if I feel it's something that I could speak on somewhat intelligently, I would be happy to share my opinions on a few things. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm excited for one more day here at the convention. If you'd like information about working from home and creating some income to supplement what you're already bringing into your household, and it won't necessarily interfere with your current job or your schooling or your occupation or whatever you're doing. If you've got 1 or 2 hours a day to commit, and that's what I mean when I say taking consistent daily action, you can't just join an online business and then expect to go at it half-heartedly and half-assed and, work 1 or 2 hours a week at it, like on a Wednesday and a Saturday, whenever you have a couple hours. It takes consistent daily action. It doesn't have to be 6 or 8 hours, but it does have to be at least an hour or two a day of consistent action, doing certain things, income producing activities that will create results, as I'm starting to see in my own business. If you do those things, you will be successful. Please look at some of my other trainings. There's some great material that can help you learn and grow your business. Until I see you next time, which will be tomorrow night, have a great night, everybody. I thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.